So you are welcome back again. So okay, let me share the board, my whiteboard. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome back. So, in now we are going to continue from where we stopped. So, we started discussing on lipid. So, generally, lipid is divided into we have different types of lipid. So, that is what we are going to start with. We have types of lipids. I hope you can see all my slide very clear. So can you now all see the board? Can you see the whiteboard? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so thank you very much. Let's start. So as I'm saying, we have different types of lipid, and that is what we are going to look at now. We have different types of lipids. So number one, we have what you call a simple lipid, a simple lipids. And number two, we have what you call a complex lipid, a complex lipids. And then number three, we have what you call a derived lipid. We have what you call a derived lipids. We have derived lipids. So these are the types of lipids that we have. So on each and every one, we are going to take each and every one and discuss on it. So we are now going to start with the simple lipids. We are starting with a simple lipids. So what is a simple lipids? From the word simple means it is not a complex. From the word simple, it means that it is not a complex. It's something that you can easily handle. So the simple lipid is also divided into two. Simple lipid is divided into two. We have what you call triacyl glycerol. We have triacyl glycerol, and then number two we have waxes. So I'm going to start with the triacyl glycerol. So triacyl glycerol is made up of two components: triacyl glycerol, glycerol is made up of two major components, and the component is glycerol plus fatty acids. So whenever you ask about triacyl glycerol, the first thing that will come into your mind is that triacyl glycerol is made up of two components, and these two components is glycerol plus fatty acids. So now let's start with the with the glycerol. How is the glycerol look like? The glycerol is a three carbon compound. It's made up of three carbon. Let me draw it here. It's made up of three carbon. So here it has OH group, and here it also have another OH group. Here also it has another OH group. And here there is a two hydrogen atoms, and here there is one hydrogen, and here there is also a two hydrogen atom. So what I wanted us to understand is that in triacyl glycerol, or in glycerol, there are three OH group. There are three OH group. This is the first point, second OH group, and this is the third OH group. So this is what you call triacyl glycerol. It is actually a three carbon compound. It is a three carbon compound, and it has three OH group, indicating that it has three esterification points. And of course, for the fatty acid, it has a functional group of RCOOH. This is the functional group of fatty acid. It has a functional group of COOH. So now what I wanted us to understand is that in organic chemistry, generally organic acid and organic base react to produce an ester. Organic acids, organic acids, organic acid plus organic base to produce what you call an ester, to produce ester. And this ester, the process of producing this ester is called esterification reaction. So the reaction between organic acid and organic base to produce ester is called esterification reaction. Esterification reaction. So that is what actually happened in the case of triacyl glycerol. So in the case of triacyl glycerol, of course, we have a fatty acid and glycerol that join together. So you see, if you have something like this, of course, you have OH group here, you have another OH group, then you have another OH group. So what happened in this case, one triacyl glycerol here, sorry, one fatty acid will react with this, another fatty acid will react with this OH group, plus also another fatty acid will react with this again. So after this, they react together. That is where they are going to form triacyl glycerol. Like for example, in this case, you have, okay, I don't know, can you hear me? Are you hearing me? Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, you are all welcome for joining the YouTube as a member. You are all welcome. So now, after we have three fatty acid, and that is why if you can look at it clearly, you can see that from here, we have something like this. Let me try to reduce the size. So you see, you can have, let me just have it like this. So we have RCOOH, so when you have RCOO, so it will react with OH group. This is how the reaction always look like. So you have OH, or let me say ROH react to COOH, then it will produce, let me put prime here. So we have R prime, then COO, then we now have this R again, then plus water molecule. So therefore, if we have this reaction, generally water molecules is released. So in the case of the triacyl glycerol, when you have one fatty acid attached, it is now called monoacyl glycerol. Like for example, if we have a case like this, we have OH here, then we have OH here, we have OH. So if we now have one R, COOR, COOR, so the COOH, and another R2 here, COOH, plus R3 here, COOH. So if they react, this is what we are going to have. Of course, here there is H2, and of course here we'll have something like this. So we'll have a carbon here that will form a carbonyl compound with, of course, OR. And for here, we'll also have carbonyl carbon with OR2, because this one is OR1, so it's OR1. So we also have another one here, OR3. So this is the esterification reaction that happens during the formation of fatty acid, and you can clearly see that here there is three esterification. So if it's only one fatty acid, that esterify one OH group, so it is called monoacyl glycerol. It is called monoacyl glycerol. But if it is two, the first R here and the second R2 here, or the first fatty acid here, the second fatty acid, if they are the one that joined together, it means that there are two fatty acids. So that one is described as diacylglycerol. But if there are three fatty acids that esterify or that react to the 3OH group, then it is now called triacylglycerol. So that is what we mean by triacylglycerol. But the fatty acid that we are talking about, even the fatty acid itself, is divided into three. So we have two types of fatty acids. And these two types of fatty acids, we have number one, we have what we call saturated fatty acid, and we have unsaturated fatty acids. So what is a saturated fatty acid? A saturated fatty acid is a type of fatty acid that have all carbon to carbon. So in a saturated fatty acid, all the carbon to carbon is made up of a single bond. So let me just actually give this example.